these
In the world we live in today, you're either blue collar or white collar. It's just the way it is. And in the world of motorsports, it is mostly the same. However, there is always that stigma between these two where one of them is perceived as a hero, while the other is the villain. In tour-type modified racing, we don't really have any outlaws, but we do have an income variance when compared to driving skills. Today, we will look at two great drivers that are currently in the prime of their careers. Chase Dowling and Ronnie Williams may bring two completely different types of tools to the track, but with their differences aside, made for an amazing pair of young local modified drivers with a lot of mutual ground. Chase Dowling is a native of Roxbury, Connecticut, but his racing origins began in his parents' backyard. He stated, "I used to run around on a dirt bike at my house when my parents were building it. One day my dad's best friend came over for a visit and said, 'You should put that kid in a go-kart.' Then, as a joke, my dad told me if I won the championship in the World Karts in the Northeast Regional competition that we would go to nationals." Needless to say, Dowling fulfilled his end of the bargain, and in the summer of 2012, he went racing in Legends cars, all the way down at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The Summer Shootout Series has become one of the best things for young racers. And in just his second year competing, a 14-year-old Dowling won the 2012 championship in the Young Lions division. Many will say that a Legends car is the hardest thing to drive because of how out of control you are. The short wheelbase and treaded tire make you feel like you're going to spin out, but Chase proved he could handle it and started to move on to bigger race cars. He said, "Hopefully this title helps me continue my dream in racing." In 2013, Chase decided to race full-time in the SK Light division at the Stafford Motor Speedway and set the record books on fire. In his first ever start, he had to come all the way from the 15th starting position to win the SK Light portion of the Spring Sizzler weekend. Then, over the course of the season, he won 7 races and was the Rookie of the Year. While this was happening, Chase would befriend one of the biggest young names in SK Light modified racing at the time, his competitor Steven Kopsick. They met as freshmen in high school and bonded over race cars. Together they would eventually achieve a lot of success as a team, but we'll get to that a bit later. The following year, Dowling moved up to the SK Modifieds and again found success straight out of the box. In just his 4th start, he won his first SK Modified race against drivers like Ted Christopher and Woody Pitcat. With the checkered flag in his hand, he said, "I almost had to hold my breath there. Not a lot of people can win right away, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 years, but we won in our 4th race. It's a pretty amazing feat, and I can't thank all the guys on the crew and my sponsors enough." At season's end, Dowling was crowned the 2014 SK Modified Rookie of the Year in his family-owned team. He had to beat none other than the other standout racer, Ronnie Williams. Dowling said, "You're racing against the top guys at Stafford and the Modified Tour. It's the best weekly competition, and you can't afford to slack at all. You have to be on top of your game all the time." At the start of the season, the battle for the Rookie of the Year was tense, but we were a bit more consistent than Ronnie down the stretch. With all this success, he was able to get the eye of champion Jamie Tomaino and team up to race on the NASCAR Modified Tour for 2015. While this season was an extremely competitive year for the tour in general, Chase would get off to a slow start due to equipment issues. But once those gremlins were gone, he came on strong and had 8 top 10s in the 15-race season and won the Rookie of the Year. Dowling mentioned that, "Every year I won the Rookie of the Year, we didn't just show up as the only rookie and get a participation trophy. We had some tough competition, so it's something to be proud of. 3 years ago, I didn't have any intentions of being where I'm at right now. We keep proving to ourselves each year that we can compete with the big guys." As 2017 approached, Chase would get a big break as he would sign with Adam Scavora's 50 team. Scavora was a crucial crew member with Mike Stefanik in his 2006 NASCAR championship run along with Ryan Preece in 2013 and has a ton of setup knowledge to help his team succeed. After their test session before the Sizzler, Chase said, "When we tested here, It was just fun right off the bat. Adam and I, along with the whole team, just bonded well. I knew from then we were going to be good. And were they ever? At their first race together, they won the SK portion of the Spring Sizzler and held off Ronnie Williams at the end. Dowling reiterated how happy he felt with his new team, saying, "This is something I've always dreamed of. I can't thank Adam and the boys enough. They worked their heart out all week, and it shows." Then, the two would get an even bigger win together, the Stafford SK 5K. The 100-lapper saw Dowling have to come from 13th in the field to the lead. While battling with Rowan Penning, he took the lead around halfway and won the $5,000 prize. He said, "I didn't think it was going to be like this. I thought we were going to win maybe one or maybe two. To come out this strong early in the year is pretty phenomenal. I don't want to take the credit for this win because it's the guys that prepare this car and work on it that make it this fast." While the team blossomed, they came up short of the championship by just a few points in the finale. But while they were having fun in the SK's chase was also working with LFR chassis and racing part-time on the NASCAR Modified Tour. But things would get a bit confusing. Dowling would sign on to race the NASCAR Tour full-time in 2018 for Fuller. This seemingly meaningless note would cause quite the stir and change the landscape of modified racing. Rob Fuller of LFR Chassis made a call to Scavora. Fuller basically said that if you don't let Chase drive an LFR car, then he won't be driving for your team. There is more to this story that I don't even want to touch, and as wrong as it was, Scavora took a classier route and said, "I don't think anything bad on Chase. Chase was a lot more to me than a driver. He meant a lot to me. I love the kid. I would have done anything for him. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to me." While this was a strange event, Dowling would be reunited with his buddy, Steven Kopsick, as his crew chief. Chase said, "He can tell if I'm feeling something in the car and I explain it to the crew. He can put an emphasis on it. He knows what he's hearing." Kopsick said of Chase, "We know each other's languages. The car, what it's doing. Stupid little things that other people would never understand. We just get it, and I think everything just works well together." They came close to winning at the Summer Loudon race, but lost by a nose to Bobby Santos. But Dowling would return to Loudon in September and would go on to win his first ever NASCAR Modified Tour race, as he would go from 4th to 1st on the final lap to win the inaugural Musket 250. With the big win, Dowling said, "You go through a frustrating patch. I work on these cars full-time in the shop. You make this your life, and you're working to do this stuff. I was pretty fortunate that I can work for and drive the race cars on the weekends. You get back to the shop and you grind through the weeks, and you have good runs then bad runs. Then you keep finishing second. People ask you all the time, when are you going to win? When you finally do it, you get relieved a little bit." Now, while this was happening, another driver was starting to rise up and take the torch from Dowling with the 50 team for Adam Scavora, and start winning in Tour-type modifieds as well. And his name is Ronnie Williams. Williams was a standout hockey player at Bryant University and in his hometown of Ellington, Connecticut, and is the son of a financial advisor. His racing journey began when he was with his father at on-track karting. His father made a bet that if Ronnie had the fastest lap time of the day, then he would buy him a cart to go race at Stafford. Needless to say, Ronnie won the bet, and the two started their race team up. After racing on Monday nights, Williams also moved up into the SK Lights in 2012 and towards the end of the summer won his first ever race. In Victory Lane, he said, "It's a dream come true. I've been coming here since I was born. My grandfather raced here as well. It's a dream come true." He would win a total of 4 races in his SK Light career at Stafford and move up to the SKs in 2014 with his family team. After avoiding a spin by the leaders in front of him, he hung on in a drag race to get his first SK win in the middle of the season. With the win, he said, "I thought something was going to happen, so I saved a little for the end." In addition, he started to gain some respect from the drivers around him as the man he beat for the win. Sean Foster said, "I have a lot of respect for Ronnie. He never touched wheels with me when we were side by side, and he could have if he wanted to." In the following season, Williams broke out and was able to win an amazing 6 races. At the start of the season, he said, "My goal was to try and compete with the top guys. Maybe not getting wins, but definitely being up there. But to beat these guys, it's definitely something. I've been coming here since I was a kid and watching these guys as I grew up. In 2016, Ronnie would add a win at the Waterford Speed Bowl to his racing resume and had to get past the great Ted Christopher on the final lap to do it. Christopher is known for the bottom shot, and going into turn 3, Williams used it on him and beat him to the line. Ronnie reflected on the win, saying, "I know he'd do the same move. I just beat the king." As 2017 approached, we were able to see the difference between Ronnie and Chase. Ronnie would focus on his job away from racing and financial advising and say, "Racing is not my whole life. I am fortunate to be able to come to the track to race, and I can tell my crew what is going on with the car without worrying about what the car is doing parts-wise. I can just tell my crew that it is loose in the center and tied off, fix it. Then when I go back out I can tell them if it is fixed." For the 2017 season, Ronnie decided to drive a special paint scheme and renumber his car to number 49 as a tribute to his late grandfather, Fred Peckham. He said, "I grew up only about 1 mile up the road from the track, so my grandfather got us into racing." Ronnie picked up an emotional win on the special Dunleavy's Modifieds night, and in victory lane he said, "This is one of the most special wins. I had his picture in my pocket all night." Ronnie led the points battle for half the summer and never fell lower than third for the entire season. Now this brings us to 2018 and Ronnie taking over duties for Adam Scavora's 50 team and start a trend of winning that continues to this day. When Ronnie got the call to be the driver, he said, "The main goal coming to this team is to win races and win the championship." I think Adam and I are on the same page with that. I'm excited to be with a group of guys that just have the teamwork that they do. His car owner even said, "Ronnie was one of my first choices as a driver. He's just a good young kid. He's clean. He doesn't wreck stuff." And this pairing became bad news for everyone in the field. Williams started off with a string of podiums. But once the SK 5K came, the team hit their stride. They won the race, and in victory lane he said, "This makes up for the 2015 SK 5K I lost after I was leading and got wrecked." They were crowned the 2018 Stafford SK Track champions after 3 wins and 10 podium finishes. The consistency was what won them the title and would repeat as the champions in 2019. While Dowling and Williams would race each other in the SKs and select tour shows, 2019 was the start where you'd see them racing each other for the top spot in open mods. And it all started at the 2019 icebreaker for the MRS series. Williams would start racing for Gary Casella's 25 team and have to come from the back, while Chase Dowling took over for the late Ted Christopher in Jimmy Page's 00, and the battle would commence.
As for several years, he's putting pressure to Chase Dowling, looks to the low side, pulls him behind. We have a new leader, we do. And look at this. He is going to fight back on the inside. Dowling, what a run, what a move off that number 2 corner, Matt. And he shakes free the 25. Here it comes. The Casella number 25 and Ronnie Williams looking to strike back.
Here comes Williams. Down low, looking to take the lead. Dowling answers back on the outside. As they bang their way into the 3rd corner, here is Ronnie Williams. They go up the track, and they go to the line, and our leader is Ronnie Williams.
Unbelievable racing here in the late stages of this event. Here comes Chase Dowling to the inside. He's got a drag race Williams down the back chute into turn number 3. Inches apart, wheel to wheel, off the number 4 corner. And look at Williams hang tough up top as they work their way into the number 1 turn.
I think Dowling gets angry every time he loses a lead. And here comes Williams on the outside. The threat by Chase Dowling. 2 of the young guns in New England side. And
oh, look at this. Down low goes Williams. Willis Jr. solid in 3rd spot. On the front straightaway, they continue. He's got that new number 4 car right in it. But the drag race continues down the back straightaway by your top 2 competitors. Williams up top. Downstairs, it's Dowling.
And Dowling is trying to get underneath as he rabble-rouses his way underneath the 25 of Ronnie Williams. They torpedo their way off the corner. Here comes Williams, and he reestablishes himself in the lead.
This could go right down to the wire. This one is going to go. Those leaders are side by side, Heading through that number one corner. Here comes Dowling to the inside. Got a great run off the second turn. Willis and Owen have got a good deal going there, heading into the number 3 turn.
Here is Chase Dowling. 2 laps ago, Dowling is a leader. Williams has to...
Dowling is going to put the Jimmy Page 00 car into victory lane here tonight.
In what was a classic and respectful race for the win from 2 young drivers, it would set the tone for how good the next wave of drivers could be. Dowling was able to win this battle and was happy to win in Honor TC. He said, "When an owner calls you from a passing of probably the greatest driver in modifieds, it means a lot. Last year, we finished second 4 times in a row. I wasn't going to lose this one. Ronnie caught me and got by me clean. We raced each other hard, but I wasn't going to come in second today." While that last caution seemed to cost Williams the race, he would be able to get some redemption a month later and win his first ever Tour-type modified race at Monadnock and become another great to win in the 25. And when Dowling and Williams raced again on the MRS Tour, Williams would get the trophy. The Magic Mile was the big event for the series, and he held off Dowling and Nocella by making the move for the win at the last second to steal the win. He said, "It's absolutely amazing to win on this premises. You see races here on TV, you see the guys who have won here. I mean, it's Loudon. There's nothing better than that." With the winning streak starting, Williams and the Casella team went down to Seekonk for Open Wheel Wednesday in search of a big payday, and the good times kept rolling. He took the lead with just 9 laps remaining, at a track he wasn't a big fan of and won. In victory lane, he said, "Every MRS show or tri-track race is going to be big money, and you got top competitors here. To come here and win like we did, it's awesome." And the fun wouldn't stop there, as he would win again 2 nights later at Stafford, giving him a 3-race winning streak over 6 days. "It's only 1 week, and we won 3 races. But it's the first time I've won races in different cars at different tracks. We went from the biggest track to the smallest and now to the biggest event of the year and won them all." Then when the Open Modifieds returned to Stafford, he went on to win again for Scavora's team, while the Casella team finished right behind him in second. To close his season out, he returned to Thompson and got redemption for the Icebreaker in April. He drove away from Dowling late in the event and got his first Tour-type modified win at Thompson. In victory lane, he said, "This group, they're one of a kind. Gary puts together a great race car. It's just my job to go out there and complete it, which is going out there and winning." With his season complete, he looked forward to what was next with the 50 and the 25. Chase Dowling went on to win more in Open modified events as well, and had a pretty nice winning percentage. Of the 9 Open races he competed in, he won 4 of them and had no worse of a finish than 7th. To start, he won the MRS race at Stafford in August. Then he won on the Tri-Track Series at Monadnock and said, "Today I was more patient in a race car than I have ever been. I did not let the race get to me, and I knew that we were going to be good at the end. I knew we were good all race." As 2020 came and went, Dowling would partner with the legendary Ben Dodge and race the number 9 car in all the Open shows. Their chemistry together was destined for success, and they proved it over the following seasons. 4 victories were on tap for Dowling in 2021, and it all started at Stafford. He was long gone from the pack at the end of the Twisted T80 and won. He didn't immediately go to victory lane. Instead, he went up the grandstands to his car owner Ben Dodge and shared a special moment with him. Afterwards, he said, "You never know when your last day is going to come, and that's my best friend. It's not just race cars. It's probably one of the biggest moments of my career right there. People ask what are the most special moments for you in racing, and it's moments like today. Everyone has a spot where they lose sponsorship or they lose rides or get bought out of rides. He picked me up when I was at a low and stayed with me through this. He lets me work on the race car, lets me put my crew together, lets me do everything." When they returned in July, Dowling and Dodge spanked the competition again and were long gone from second place. In victory lane, he stated, "This thing was a Cadillac at the end. One of the best cars I've had here in a long time. We're going to win some more races, and I'm just happy to do this for Ben Dodge as a car owner, and me driving it and having a great team to keep winning races." When the Tri-Track Series headed to Monadnock, so did the speed with the 9. He took the lead on lap 55 and held off Matt Hirschman to get the win. With his 4th win in the past 9 starts, this team was quickly becoming a threat to win anywhere. While they were dominating at Stafford and on the Tri-Track Series, Ronnie Williams was dominating at Thompson. To start off, he almost won the first 2 races of the season after leading many laps, but he was able to win in the July and September races by a wide margin at the end. Even Dowling said, "I know when we come back we're going to need about another 100 horsepower to keep up with that 25 car." Unfortunately for Williams, the Thompson 300 weekend would be one to forget. The day started with an engine expiring on the 25 car in practice. Then in the Sunoco modified feature, the 50 team would be wiped out by Keith Rocco and turn the front stretch into the X Games with Williams grinding the front stretch wall. This would be the end of SKs for the 50 at Thompson. When the 300 started, Williams came from last to get inside the top 10 until they were involved in a wreck after a restart with Dowling and others ending their races. Something I have noticed ever since this day was how the 25 has yet to return to juggernaut status since this engine failure. Don't get me wrong, they have won since, but the car just doesn't seem to be as superior as it was. To close the season out, Chase Dowling would get back to winning form, leading every lap in the Seekonk Haunted 100 and capture their 4th victory of the season. After so much winning, both drivers would take a bit of a dip in 2022. However, both of them would be able to get wins. Dowling was able to win the inaugural Granite City Classic at Thunder Road, and after the win he said, "I just can't thank everybody enough. This car was on rails. The crew guys did an awesome job all day." With all their success, the 9 team would decide to close at the end of 2023. Currently, this is Dowling's most recent victory, but he took a step back from racing to build his own house over the past couple seasons. Recently, he has joined the Teneo 44 team on the Modified Tour, and hopefully they will race more often and Chase will compete for a championship. For Williams, he won a Stafford Open event for the 50 team along with the World Series for the MRS in the 25. It would be his final season in the Casella 25 before solely driving for the 50 team. After the win, he said, "Gary Casella and these guys always give me a good race car. We just kind of had weird luck this year." It may have been a quiet year for Williams, but that all changed in 2023. Now only racing open modifieds for Scavora's team, they started off hot at the Icebreaker. They led the majority of the race, but when the caution flew later in the event, they almost beat themselves. They tried to stay out on old tires and were lapped. They even needed 2 cautions to get back on the lead lap. But once it happened, he came flying through the field on fresh rubber, and luck came in the form of a caution just before the white flag flew. He got the jump on the restart and took home the trophy. The joke between the team was the saying, "Waste of a weekend," after not pitting. But they made up for the mistake. Ronnie said, "That was my call to stay out, and the last time the driver will make the decisions. I almost got myself fired for that once we got lapped." When asked about getting his first win in an open mod at Thompson for the 50 team, he said, "I was with the 25 team for so long, and they're a great group of guys, but I wanted to do my own thing, and it feels great to win on our first try." What came next was total domination at Thompson. They won in the return in June and again at the World Series for the MRS Series. In Victory Lane, Ronnie stated, "I love coming to this place. I think coming here with an SK modified taught me a lot, and coming here with Gary Casella in the past also helped. Obviously, we have it figured out right now with this team, but things can change just as quickly as they get good." While they dominated at Thompson, Scavora and Williams were able to check a new track off the win list. They had to pass Doug Coby for the win and won at Thunder Road. In the winner's circle, Williams said, "Me beating probably one of the best modified drivers in Doug Coby is pretty cool." The champagne was flying and the team was firing on all cylinders after their 7th open win as an organization. But then they hit a bit of a dry spell. They were able to win a race at Thompson in 2024, and even with having 6 top 5s paired with 10 top 10 finishes over 13 races, by the standards they were setting, they limped into 2025. But, towards the end of the season, they hit their stride, winning 3 races, each one coming at each of the Connecticut tracks. And after snapping the winless streak, Ronnie said, "We've really turned it on, and we've been a top 5 and top 3 car. It feels like we haven't won in a long time. It's good to be back." As a team, they got themselves back on track and are ready to chase more trophies in 2026. As the new season approaches, these two standouts may have different roles outside of the driver's seat within their teams, but are able to get the job done when the checkered flag drops. In a quick comparison, outside of NASCAR, Dowling has 12 open modified wins and Williams has 19. Williams has 126 starts to Dowling's 74. Their winning percentages are very close at 15% for Williams and 16.2% for Dowling. You may like one or the other, but if you're like me, you enjoy watching two clean drivers duke it out for wins. As their first decade in Tour-type modifieds comes to a close, the chapter opens on their primes. And it can only mean bigger and better things are coming in the next decade for them, as well as for us as fans in the grandstands. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, here are some more videos to pass the time.